useful if I could share with you कि government की इस वक्त economic priority क्या है, and how does the role of the Foreign Office and particularly the missions abroad, how does that tie in, and what, from my perspective, we would like to see coming in as support from our missions abroad. So Pakistan has been following a particular growth model for the last 30 years. It's a consumption-led, imported capital finance model. As a result, we've been hit by a recurring balance of payments crisis, and we end up looking for bailouts every 4 to 5 years. We want to move away from that. We want to move to a domestic resource mobilized, productivity-based, export-oriented growth strategy. And if you look at the basic equation of a balance of payments, I'm looking to increase my exports, I'm looking to increase our remittances, and I'm looking to increase my foreign direct investment. These are the three principal things that we are trying to drive. And it is in that context that I will be sharing my thoughts with you in terms of what contributions can be made by yourselves. Let's start with remittances. There are two different parts of it. One is the identification of opportunities, both in terms, both qualitatively and quantitatively. So we look at how much more money could be earned, how much more foreign exchange could be earned if we can place more people abroad, and that's obviously very important. But since you've got presence on the ground, an assessment or feedback in terms of what's happening in the domestic markets there, and what kind of opportunities are there in terms of skill upgrade, so that if we can make investments in skills here, how much greater return. My favorite example is a job in Dubai as a receptionist in a hotel. You got poor English, you'll get a 2-star hotel job and earn X amount of dollars. You are well groomed, you speak good English, you'll get a job at a hotel reception in a 5-star hotel and make 5 times more money. So both on the qualitative front as well as quantitative front, any feedback that we can get would be extremely useful. The second part, and this relates mostly to the Middle East, and I believe the UAE, our ambassador to UAE is here. Unfortunately, ambassador to Saudi Arabia is not here because that's the other big market, probably the biggest market. And that is identification of the problems being faced by the local community there, and I'm particularly emphasizing the relatively low income labor market. Those who are operating in areas where don't even have bank accounts, etc. How can we reach them better? How can we, what can National Bank of Pakistan and the other Pakistani banks which are trying to reach out to them, how can we connect better? That's a major emphasis right now. And our missions in the Middle East, if they can provide any help, guidance, facilitation, this would be very high on my priorities right now. Second, investment. What we have tended to do is we look at all investment in generic terms. So we talk of FDI as if every FDI dollar is the same for us, but it isn't. So what you need to know in terms of which are the type of companies, businesses with whom you should be building relationships, encouraging them to come to Pakistan, or identifying the names to send back to the Board of Investment of people that they should be reaching out to. It's again the top priorities: export dollars, job creation, technology transfer. So if I was to give you an example, a company which runs resorts for tourists would be far more interesting for me compared to a company which will come and develop a luxury accommodation in Karachi or Lahore or Islamabad. which are the companies which can have significant technology transfer potential. So somebody like an Alibaba in China becomes absolutely vital for me, far more of far greater interest than a Chinese company which will come in and put in a power plant, as an example. And we will do this in a more organized fashion. We should have the Board of Investment identify for you the sectors which are the highest priority for us in terms of seeking foreign investment, and those lists should be shared with our missions abroad so that they know exactly which sectors. I was just telling you broadly that we need to get much more focused than simply saying we want somebody who wants to invest in Pakistan. Another important role that can be played by our missions abroad, particularly those in the West, in the context of CPEC, there is a very widespread feeling amongst Western envoys here in Pakistan that Pakistan is closed for business for Western companies, and that we are only interested in working with the Chinese, which is not true. There's a lot of misinformation out there also. So it is very, very important to dispel this notion, and both yourselves directly as well as your recommendations back home for us as to what kind of messaging and what kind of action should we be taking which help dispel this impression amongst non-Chinese investors. It's actually not just Western, the Japanese investors, and Razak, the Japanese ambassador, the outgoing ambassador, had come to see me yesterday, and he said your visit had a very, very positive impact, because in their mind we have written off the world except China. So that's the other aspect of investment that I want to talk about. Third is on the finance side, finance, investment, whatever you want to call it. And again, this is the Middle Eastern countries are particularly important in this, but not the only ones. Almost every country has now got these sovereign wealth funds, and they have become massive investors. Absolutely, they are huge. I was in Qatar recently, $450 billion, a pretty small country, $450 billion there. The Saudis have set up an investment fund. The Abu Dhabi one was one of the earliest ones. They probably got more than $1 trillion of investment surplus sitting there. Many other countries, Malaysia has got one, Singapore has got one. So these are a very, very important relationship. And similarly, as Harun was saying, the Islamic Development Bank is a very, very important relationship for me. The Asian Development Bank, AIIB, these are all now vital relationships. Of course, everybody recognizes World Bank and IMF, but these are very, very important relationships for us. And therefore, having some interaction there and being able to provide some kind of an information flow back here. The last part is trade. And I've had a few experiences of going abroad, and inevitably you meet people from the missions there, and in most cases I've met the commercial people also, and you can see a clear difference. And I won't name the particular case, but I've already seen the difference in one particular case where the envoy was very, very closely tracking trade issues, identifying the opportunities, feeding information back, and it's had an impact. It's already resulted in a differential. So that is obviously the other thing. In virtually every country, Pakistan's export potential is far greater than the reality of the export. So these are the areas which I could think of where our missions abroad could play a very, very important and critical role.